Welcome back, folks. So as we cover these stories on the border, it is no secret that it is having devastating effects on Americans. I blame Joe Biden, and I also blame Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas. He should be impeached, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I want to bring in now my good friend, Congressman from Florida, Republican Matt Gaetz. Congressman, great to see you. Thanks for coming on the program.
Oh, thanks for having me, Grant.
So I know you have been big on Mayorkas getting impeached. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. What's going on up there?
So no question, the Secretary of Homeland Security deserves impeachment, not because he's failing on the border, but because it's on purpose. The fact that we have an open border isn't a bug of the system, it's a feature, and it has real consequences for people who live in these border communities and frankly in every community. We got testimony from Yuma, Arizona, just this past week that their neonatal intensive care units get filled up by illegal migrants, and then the people who support that hospital system with their tax dollars end up having to travel more than 170 miles away to Phoenix when they have their precious little babies yearning for life. Unfortunately, despite these grave facts, I sense that enough Republicans will oppose the impeachment of Mayorkas to stop it in its tracks. And I don't share that information with you with any sense of joy. Matter of fact, I would have impeachment articles up for a vote immediately if I thought we could pass them. And I think that would force the Senate to have a trial on the border, which would be a great use of time in the Chuck Schumer Senate, actually. And it would showcase to the American people now that every town is a border town. Here's the argument from some of my fellow Republicans who don't share my perspective. They say, well, he's done a bad job, but we should just have oversight hearings. Or, well, the border's open, unlike what Mayorkas says, but we should just make demands on the debt limit or in an appropriations fight. And here's my question. If Mayorkas doesn't deserve impeachment for opening the border on purpose, who does? Is it totally an insignificant tool now in our politics after Democrats weaponized impeachment against Donald Trump? So I think if it's good for the goose, it should be good for the gander, and Mayorkas undeniably deserves that outcome.
You know, there's another aspect of this as well, which is flat out lying to Congress, which I think Mayorkas has done on numerous occasions. Let me give you one soundbite and then get your response. It's taken us back in time a little bit, but it's pertinent. Cut one, roll that.
Do you continue to maintain that the border is secure?
Yes, and we are working day in and day out to enhance its security, Congressman.
Secure. They've had over 1 million encounters in 1 year. The border is not secure, not to mention the other lies that he's laid out to Congress.
Yeah, if the border is secure, I play center field for the New York Yankees. The lying, the purposeful degradation of the rule of law, and just the total lack of a plan. Remember, for a cabinet secretary, you don't need to achieve the legal standard of high crimes and misdemeanors. There is an ability for Congress to have a check on these executive branch failures through the impeachment process. And when you look at the fact that there are over 1.2 million people in this country who have active deportation orders on them, they have no valid asylum claim, they've gotten all the due process that the Constitution would provide, and yet they still have no basis to be here, and Mayorkas will not deport them. And some of those people are going to commit crimes, and the victims of those crimes are acceptable collateral damage to this person who has violated our sovereignty, who has ignored the rule of law, and who is the quintessential example of the failures of the Biden administration.
Well, I certainly wish there were more Republicans up there that thought like you and me, Congressman, and something would get done. It seems like there are too many feckless leaders, so-called leaders in our party that are holding this back. You talked about collateral damage, and they don't care what happens to people that get in their way. I wanted to ask you, because quietly, and not many people were reporting on this, the Department of Justice says, you know what, they are ending their investigation into you, Congressman Matt Gaetz, that they don't have anything on you, which I remember when I was back on another network, I'll just say it, back on Newsmax, you came on and you predicted this would happen. I don't know. It might have been almost 2 years ago. What's your response to all this and the damage that they have done, honestly, to you, your family, your reputation through that process? I think you've got it back, but clearly not good.
Well, my family's pretty tough, but I remember in those early days of April 2021, I came on your show with no preconditions. I said, Grant, ask me any question you want to ask. I will answer it, and I will declare to my constituents, the American people, that these things that terrible people and news outlets were repeating about me were not true, and there would be no evidence to ever substantiate those smears and lies. Now, my version of the facts continues to be borne out, and I think that the entities like CNN that continue to propagandize my life for profit and because I'm effective have egg on their face. So now I'm focused on my work to oversee the Department of Justice and the FBI from the percha that I hold on the Judiciary Committee. And there's a lot of work to be done here, Grant. This government has been weaponized against conservatives, against Trump supporters, and I cannot wait to showcase for the American people the information I've been learning about how the FBI not only accelerated anything that could embarrass Republicans, even if it wasn't supported by the facts, but they were doing damage control for the Biden family time and again, and not just Hunter Biden, but Joe Biden himself and the corruption that he was involved in. We've got to get those facts before the American people because it'll change the way you think about the FBI.
Matt, can I ask you on a personal level? So when you came on my show, I had liberal friends and family members of mine say, you better not back him. You're going to get egg on your face. I said, no, I believe the man because this Department of Justice has been weaponized, and I believe him. So they've indicated me too, right? Because I was a full-on supporter of you because I knew they were trumped-up bogus charges. But I want to ask you from a personal level, what was this like to have the most powerful government on earth, maybe one of the most powerful law enforcement agencies on earth, and then a justice prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office coming after you with everything they got? We know there's nothing there. What was that like on a personal level?
Well, it was not the easiest 2 years of my life, undeniably. I am not surprised by this outcome. I showcased what I believe the evidence would bear out. The moment you asked me those questions, and you were willing to ask the tough questions, and I was willing to answer them, and a lot of people don't remember that. But I think that God doesn't ever give us more than we can handle. I really believe that. And I drew inspiration from President Trump because I know that you can't ever let the process be the punishment. It's certainly tough when elements in government and the media are trying to deplatform, destroy, and smear you, but we're tougher. And I come from a district of a lot of tough folks, and I think about the folks I represent who endure multiple deployments, family members who come back from war zones with broken limbs and broken hearts and broken minds, and having to endure a little bit of pain was nothing compared to what my constituents go through each and every day. And I'm honored to continue to serve them, and I'm glad they always had my back, as did you.
You're a good man for that. I imagine you learn very quickly who your friends are. You go through something like that.
Undeniably. It's quite something to go to your own political funeral because you know who shows up.
Isn't that the truth? Matt Gaetz, as I let you go here, I know you'll probably be at CPAC this week. I hope we get to see you there. Any message for Mayorkas right now just to bring this thing full circle before I let you go?
No, we know where the whistleblowers are. We know what the lies are. And the American people fundamentally want a secure border, and they have not gotten one, and they deserve it. And that's why we have to use every process. We have to use the tools that we generated during the fight over the Speaker of the House to target budgets and bureaucrats, to use the power of the purse and the power of the subpoena. And if we bring all of that into concert, we have the ability to provide the oversight the American people deserve and let the truth out.
Well, you're a good man for coming on the show. I know we got to you a little later than we were expecting. Thank you for your patience on that one. And as always, it's good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're in the clear now officially. Big thumbs up to you.
Thank you, Grant. Thanks for having me on. Congrats on the great new show.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy.